Hey Taurus, what's the crack? What's going on? I hope you're super well. My name is Madam Butterfly and we're going to do a reading for March. It's going to be like a general kind of messages from spirit just to see what comes out. We're going to use a whole bunch of different cards. You're very welcome here, Taurus. I just want to say that, whether you're new to the channel or whether you're a returner, you're very, very welcome here, and I really appreciate you taking the time to check out the reading. And if you feel like it resonates with you and you feel like liking and subscribing for me once you've seen it, I'd appreciate that so much as well, Taurus. So let's just get into this. You start with the Diana Cooper Archangel Animal Oracle card. So you have the dolphin. Live joyfully in the present. So a little message here, Taurus, about not always worrying about the future, not thinking, not dwelling on things that have gone wrong in the past, like maybe mistakes that you've made or things that you would have liked to have gone differently, or maybe like, I don't know, situations that maybe just didn't go the way that you wanted them to, like live in the present, because there is only the present, right, Taurus? There isn't really the past and there isn't really the future. It's just an illusion. All you have is what you have now, right? Also, the dolphins are, they are the knowledge keepers of the planet. So you may be gaining a lot of knowledge at the moment. I'm going to go into a different deck. Pull one from this one. So I'm going to try and remember to list all the decks that I'm using, because I know it's annoying when you're watching and you're like, bitch, what deck are you using? I will try and remember. Wow, you have blue. Activate your healing power. Look at that. That is gorgeous. That's a beautiful card. So it kind of looks to me like you have two blue ones here as well. Also, I was choking a little bit. I had to restart your video because as I was trying to do the introduction, I started choking for no reason. So you may, the blue is the color of the throat chakra, so you may be starting to speak up more for yourself, or speaking more, speaking about your needs more. I'm just going to take that top one. So activate your healing power. So you also, I'm noticing Aries had a similar thing. See how the dolphin's got a little star around about his heart? It looks very, very similar to the star that you have here. So you definitely have some kind of innate healing power. I mean, we all do, Taurus, but I feel like Spirit is saying to you, like, you may have more healing powers than other people. Like if you're one of the Tauruses that happen to watch this reading, you have some kind of knowledge, and it's to do, like, you're a natural healer. Because I always find Taurus do have that energy of like being very calm and like being very grounded, and it is very healing for other people, but they may well be talking about something much deeper than that. Like you might have some kind of healing power to do with speaking, because it is the throat chakra, or any other kind of healing power. Like maybe you're a natural Reiki healer, for example. Maybe you would be an excellent counselor. You have Violet. Create a balanced life. So this is actually the color of the third eye chakra. And you have Lemon. Access innovative thinking. So yeah, there's some kind of and it's a number 5 card as well. You have to stop thinking about the past so much. I think there's something in the past that when maybe you're not happy with the version of yourself that was in the past, or you're not happy with something that happened in the past. But this activate your healing power is a number 10 card. So you're closing down some kind of cycle. Everything that's happened in the past was so that you could get to this point, obviously, right? But you're closing down some kind of cycle, and I feel like you're actually becoming some kind of healer. and it's to do with like your third eye. Like your third eye is opening, you're seeing things that maybe you didn't see before. Like you have gifts, and whatever these gifts are, like it's some kind of psychic gift that's going to allow you to heal people. It may be something to do with color for some of you. Some of you may have synesthesia, which is like when you hear, I think it's when you hear a name, you associate a color with it. And I think it's also when you hear music, you see color. And something to do with innovative thinking, like you're going to be starting to see things very differently, and you might be having a lot of like kind of ideas about what you want to do that you didn't have before. Because with that dolphin, like you have some kind of knowledge that other people are not privy to. Yeah, look, you're a healer. That focused? Yeah, you're a healer. Also, again, you know, this is about like releasing the past, healing from the past, like, because I think rather than worrying about the future, I feel like it's something to do with the past that is bugging you. But they're saying like forget that, like don't forget it, but it was like an experience, it was a lesson. You were supposed to learn that so that you could move into this and being a healer. You're a natural healer. And again, look, it comes from being so grounded. See how his little feet are lit up? It's like you get your power from the earth because you're so grounded. It's like you're very, very calm. You have embrace. Activate your healing power and embrace. So maybe you've been denying it a little bit. Like you may have always known that you were a healer, or you may have blocked it out. Like maybe you're from a background that kind of frowns on psychic stuff, or like, I don't know, woo-woo or hippie shit, you know, like whatever people call it, because they're not ready to accept it, right? But maybe you don't have to tell people that you're doing this kind of stuff, right? Doesn't have to be a big announcement. You can just kind of do it on the sly. But yeah, again, look, there's something to do with the earth. Like you get more so than other people, like more so than other signs, you know, Taurus, I feel like you get a lot of your energy from the earth. Like you're very connected to the earth, and this is where like your healing power comes from, and it's time for you to embrace it. Because like I said, maybe you've been, you know, maybe you didn't want to do it. Maybe you had a lot of stuff happen in your past and you're like, you know, I don't really want to help people. People suck, you know, or like I don't want to embrace all that psychic stuff because that's not my background. I don't believe in it. It's Satan worship, whatever. But you're kind of finding yourself like more and more drawn to it, and I think it's time for you to embrace it. You know, you're a natural healer, and it's a number 3, so it's a card about growth. You know, once you start to embrace your natural healing gifts, you know, it's going to lead to a whole new cycle. Whoa. Okay, right, super fast. I'm actually just going to reshuffle those. Kind of feel like I just dropped them. What else for Taurus, please? With the violet card as well, like it could also mean, you know, you need to make you're working too hard and you need a more balanced life, but it is the exact color of the third eye. So I feel like it's more about your third eye being activated. Thank you. The 9 of Earth. Enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment. It's also about recognition. The 9 of Pentacles is also about recognition. So maybe this violet card is about creating a more balanced life. Like maybe you've been working too hard, because for a lot of you, maybe you've been working really hard and now you've come to a place where you've actually got some money. Like you might have been working super hard on a business, or you might have been working hard on getting a specific job or working very hard in your job, and now they're saying like it's time for you to kind of slow down and like enjoy what you've made for yourself. It also says spending quiet time alone, and it's come out underneath the like this third eye color. So I think, and also look, she's in nature. I think it's really important for you to get out into nature in some way. I feel like that is when, like, your third eye is, like, I think it really helps activate it. You have 2 9s here as well. So I think it's really important for you at the moment to, like, get out into nature, make sure you're spending some time alone, because I think your third eye really wants to be activated more. Just gonna reshuffle those because I'm not sure which one it was. Okay, what else for Taurus, please? I'm actually gonna go into another deck. Okay, what else for Taurus, please? Thank you. You have the Ace of Swords. Oh my gosh, right underneath access innovative thinking. So you're definitely, there's some kind of new idea that's going to come to you, or like a new way of thinking. You have the Ace of Swords, a wonderful new idea. Don't allow bumps in the road to hinder your progress. Clear up communication problems with others. But I think this is more, it's a new idea. Spending time alone and possibly like outside in nature, even in your back garden, but you know, if you can, surrounded by trees and away from, like, you know, cars and shops and, like, you know, just in nature, as close to nature as you can get. There's gonna be, you're gonna get some kind of new idea here. I don't know if some of you go hill walking. There might be something here, like, for those of you that do hill walking, or maybe you live quite close to a mountain or something, being next to that would be very helpful for you. It's something to do with getting out into, like, clean air, like a clean open space helps you think. And it's come out with the Chariot. There's something to do with, like, your career here. This could also be, like, with the 9 of Pentacles and the third eye, like, you're actually going to get into a healing career. Like, some of you are destined for that. Like, you're going to have your own business, and it's going to be to do with, like, I want to say, like, a mixture of psychic and healing. So, like I said, Reiki, or you could do, like, very in-depth tarot readings, or, like, a spiritual coach, or feng shui. I think that's how you pronounce it, right? Something like that. But I feel like there's something to do. You're going to have some kind of idea about what you want to do for a job. And I think for a lot of you, it may well be spiritually based. Determination and self-control, career advancement, knowledge of success by others. Whatever this idea is, it's going to bring you a lot of success and abundance. So you need to start embracing, like, all this psychic shit that's happening for you, Taurus, basically. Because you're natural healers, and you also have a very powerful third eye. Because, you know, I don't care, like, somebody argued with me in the comments the other day, some person, because I actually think Taurus are a very psychic sign, right? You know, in the Rider-Waite Tarot, the Hierophant is the sign of Taurus, right? The spiritual teacher, the spiritual leader. And every Taurus that I have known has actually been very psychic. So don't, you know, I know people are like, I don't know, they seem to think Taurus are not psychic, but I think they just don't think about things. They just take what they're told, and they don't really think about things, because I think Taurus are a very psychic sign. And I actually know a Taurus that had synesthesia, but he was not into, like, this, because he'd come from, like, a very kind of traditional background, and, like, you know, I think didn't really want to embrace this psychic stuff. But also you have the Hanged Man here. There's something about a new perspective. There's a better way, pause for reflection and insight, dare to be different. So whatever this is, it's some kind of new idea, some kind of new way of thinking that's going to make you very successful. For a lot of you, I think it's to do with, like, a successful independent career. And it's something quite different, I think. And I think it's you're gonna get, like, quite widely acknowledged by other people for doing this, Taurus. but it might be very different than what you're used to. Like it might be very different than what your family are expecting of you. See how my voice broke there? Like maybe it's something that you're quite shy about telling people, right? But you don't have to tell everyone, right? You can just go off and do it. And then, you know, you wait until it's successful and then maybe you start telling people, but hey, maybe you never tell people. You may also, with this Hanged Man, like you may have been feeling a bit stuck at the moment, and that may have been going on for a while, may have been going on for like a year, a couple of years, but it was to give you this new perspective. Because whatever this new idea was, you know, they have to wait till you're open to it, right? They can't just give you the idea like, you know, years ago when you weren't ready for it, because maybe you weren't into psychic stuff at all, right? Maybe it took like a crap relationship for you to get into the tarot, get you a bit more open to this kind of thing, right? And then the idea comes to you. Because maybe before, if they had given you the idea, you'd been like, oh my god, like, I'm not doing that. Like, get out of here. Okay, what else for Taurus, please? I can't believe that just came out. Expectations, don't seek anyone's approval. And it's a number 3 card as well, because it's a 12. So, yeah. Dare to be different. Don't be seeking people's approval. Like, if this is something that you're very drawn to and you feel like if you tell people in your life about it and they're just going to poo-poo it, just like I said, don't tell them. I didn't tell anyone when I started the channel. I just did it. A lot of people still don't know I do this. Yeah, see, again, she's out in nature. I really feel like being out in nature is very, very helpful for you. It could even be some kind of job where you're out in nature. Like maybe you're going to be, I don't know, like maybe you decide that you really like being outdoors and like you want to be at like a park ranger or something. Or it's like something that you want to do to protect the environment or something. But I really feel like being outdoors, being out in nature is very grounding for you. And that's when you're going to get this idea, is when you're walking alone outside. Evil Queen, you deserve sugar, not salt. I'm actually going to quickly get the book for that one because I know there's something very interesting in it. It's also a number 2 which talks about balance, creating a balanced life. So maybe at the moment, like, you're overworking. I feel like for a lot of you, maybe you want to start your own business, right? Because maybe you're working too much. Like maybe it's just impossible for you to get like a schedule where you can, you know, do your job and then also be kind of spiritual, right? Because maybe the job that you have just sucks your soul out of you, or you work with like it's a stressful job, or you work with stressful people, because it's very difficult to come home and balance yourself when you're dealing with that all day. So there is something here about balance as well. Someone in your life is mistreating you. You keep trying to see the good in them, but they keep disappointing you again and again. This might not be for everyone. Truth is, some people don't deserve second chances. As difficult as it may be, this is your sign that you need to cut them loose. Unfollow them and block their number. It's time to move on. Do whatever it takes to find some inner peace, for it's just as precious as gold. So I don't know if there's a specific person in your life that you always feel like you have to seek their approval, or if it's like your family or your friends. Like you feel like if you're going to go to the spiritual world, like the spiritual job, they're going to laugh at you, or they're going to tell you you're crazy. Or it could be one person that is actually like actively mistreating you, but they're saying do whatever it takes to find your inner peace. Like don't seek out validation from other people for whatever this is you're about to do, because often you're not going to get it. You know, you only tend to get people's validation after you've succeeded, because, you know, I quit my day job to do this job, right? And you know, at the time, like, people were like, you know, they were like, what are you gonna do then? Like, that's crazy, like, what are you doing? You're mental. But you know, people that are saying this thing are often, they're coming from a place of concern, but it's also coming from a place of fear, because you seem to be something of a trailblazer. Like, it's something very different you're about to do, and you're a healer. You should be doing this. Like, this is something that you've come to do. It could very well be something to do with the environment for some of you, like saving the environment, working with the environment. But I feel it's something kind of, it's like a spiritual calling. I feel like I just dropped that one. What else for Taurus, please? Thank you. You have Alpha Draconians, corrupt, unethical cults. That's interesting that it's come out kind of next to this evil queen. Also, some of you may have grown up quite traditional. This is only going to be for some of you. See how my voice is going again? It's like you're ashamed to admit that you're doing this spiritual thing, or you're ashamed to admit that you have like a psychic gift or something, because you've grown up thinking that all of this that I'm currently doing now is satanic, right? Like, it's unethical, it's corrupt, it's a cult. Because I grew up Catholic, so I know your pain. Because it's deeply ingrained, you know, when people have been telling you since you're 6 years old that, you know, you're going to burn in hell, you know, it takes a while to unlearn that, right? So maybe for some of you, this is, a lot of people in your life are saying to you, like, oh, you shouldn't mess with that stuff, like, it's satanic, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. But you know better than that, right? Because once you're in it, you get so many symbols and so many signs and so many things happen, like, with these weird synchronicities, that you're just like, it's not possible. And it gives you a feeling of such peace and serenity, I find anyway, that you've never found anywhere else. Certainly never found it with Catholicism. You know, you're just like, there's no way that this can be wrong. But maybe this is you. Maybe you think that, like, all this spiritual stuff is like, you know, maybe you were raised in a traditional background and you think it's all, or you used to think it was wrong, you know. Okay, what else for Taurus, please? Okay. Let me just fix these, because OCD. Arcturians, feeling safe, wisdom keepers, concern. So you may very well resonate with the Arcturians, you know, that may be like your starseed background. Probably not for all of you, because it's a big group, right? Just grab the book here. So you have feeling safe, wisdom keepers, concern. See, I feel like, it's like I was saying earlier, you have some kind of wisdom. It's like some kind of innate wisdom about healing that you're supposed to do something with. Like, you know how to make people feel better, or you know, like, maybe it's healing the environment or something. I'm not going to read out all the stuff about Arcturians, but you can always Google that. It will be quite a long reading probably, but you know, people complain when the readings are too long, right? But you know, you can pause it, right? You don't have to watch it all at once, because I have a terrible attention span, so like sometimes when it's a long reading it takes me like a week to watch it. Okay, so you have Arcturians, wisdom keepers. Sorry Taurus, my camera cut out. Wisdom keepers, feeling safe, concern, coherent, prudent, emotional intelligence, deep, quiet achiever, trial and error, listening, sensible, soul-searching, reserved, confidant, friend, mentor, insightful, rational, conscientious, and it's come out underneath the Chariot. So I want to say, like, you make people feel safe. There's something about you, it's maybe your voice or it's your mannerisms, because you're so grounded, you make people feel safe. It's something to do with that safety that you bring to people that's going to make you successful. Like you could be, you know, you could be a counselor. I said a lot of the same things in Aries reading actually, but I'm going to list them anyway because I feel like some of you maybe have a crossover with Aries Taurus. I feel like I've read that in the comments somewhere before, but you know, especially with this cup of tea here, like contentment, right? Like counselor, like a what do they call it? A life coach. Something, yeah, there's like an enormous feeling of serenity coming off this card. So it could be healing, could be like a meditation coach. I really feel it's some kind of job where you bring a lot of contentment to people. Like it could be something, maybe you are going to have a YouTube channel and it's maybe like an ASMR channel, or there's something, some idea that's going to come to you. And it also with concern here, like it could be something to do with like counseling. You might get a job on like a counseling hotline or something, you know, like a you know, one of those like online things you can, because they have a lot of those now, right? Because everyone's got so much anxiety. You know, like when you can text them, something like that maybe for some of you. You have this knowledge though, you're supposed to do something with it. What else for Taurus, please? Your prayers are manifesting. Remain positive and follow your guidance. Yeah, so I think you've been asking maybe for something, like you've been asking for this idea to come. And again, I want to say it's going to come when you're outside. Like it's going to come when you're like anything outside, like up a mountain, like next to water, in a forest. If there's a body of water somewhere near you, like a lake, or as we say in Scotland, a loch. I'm just going to reshuffle that because I feel like I dropped it. Or like a waterfall, or even like a pond or something. That might be where you get this inspiration. But if you've been asking for a new direction, or you've been asking, like, should I do this? Am I supposed to be a healer? Am I supposed to do something spiritual? Like, yes, you are. Your prayers are manifesting. What else for Taurus, please? It's the same one that I put back. See your circumstances as a blessing because they offer a chance to grow. So maybe for some of you, you are like working too much, like you don't have a very balanced life and you're looking to branch out and have some kind of like autonomy, you know, something where you can like set your own hours, or you're your own boss, or you can work for yourself. Like, I don't know, teaching online, there's a ton of stuff you can do online. And again, I want to say that inspiration is going to come when you're outside. Because maybe you've been pressured. Some of you have been pressured, like you're actually at like a breaking point here. You're like, oh my god, like I can't do this level of work anymore. Like I just can't do this. Like I need to quit this job, or like I need something where I can make my own hours or something like that. Like maybe you've got children and you're finding it really hard to, you know, fit your hours in amongst your life with your children or something. Go into a different deck. Okay, let's go into this one. Okay, what else for Taurus, please? Abundance. Okay, so I'm gonna get the book for this one because they're quite in depth, these ones. Okay, here we go. Abundance. So this is also, because it's a solar plexus card, The solar plexus is all about I can. It's having the confidence and the motivation to do the things that you want to do and believe in yourself that you can do them. Because, you know, for some of this, Taurus, you may have to do this without any support, right? There may not be a lot of cheerleaders in your corner. There may just be people that are like, oh, I don't think you should get involved in that. I don't think it's a good idea. But your intuition is like screaming at you. So, you know, the solar plexus is all about I can. Abundance. Gold coins. Gold represents the power of the mind to choose. One choice may be wise, the other foolish. Choosing well may involve temporary sacrifice in order to gain your desires. Remember that you can always make a new choice. So, like, you might have to, yeah, sacrifice, like, because, you know, when you're getting a new business off the ground, like, maybe you won't have as much money as you did before. Like, maybe, you know, you'll have to work really, really hard. Maybe you won't be able to talk to your friends or family as much for a while, right? Because if they're constantly trying to say to you, like, you shouldn't be doing this, blah, 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 maybe you just need some time on your own to get this business off the ground, you know? I only seek to give you what you ask for. Be wary of using your financial situation as an excuse to avoid doing something. Are your thoughts and actions around money empowering or disempowering you? Abundance through gratitude, releasing regret, being good with money, friendship, wisdom, windfall. So I feel like maybe for some of you, you're being really drawn to do something spiritual, like some kind of spiritual career. But it's like you're worried about the money, but they're saying, like, don't use that as an excuse to not go for this thing that you want to do, right? Because maybe you're thinking about opening like a Reiki business or something, and you're like, but I'm not going to make as much money, it's not as stable, you know, I have to file my own tax returns and stuff. But yeah, they're saying don't let that hold you back, because I feel very strongly there's something you know you're supposed to do. You have destiny. I've actually never seen that card before. I like it when the cards come out that I've not seen. Okay, so that is a crown chakra card. So you're definitely getting a lot of messages through your crown chakra. I want to say before I look up the meaning of this card, also I want to say whatever this new thing you're going into, it will bring you abundance. I want to say that. Like, if you're worried that you wouldn't make a lot of money, you would make money with this new job, this new career path. But with destiny here, yeah, I feel like you're getting a lot of messages through your crown chakras telling you that this is your destiny to do this. Like, it's your destiny to be a healer. This is one of the reasons that you came here. Black and white. Black is the shade that demands to be taken seriously. As it absorbs all the colors, black emits the warm, powerful energy of the protector. Unlike black, white is isolated. Together they balance and create. You will be guided by your angels to what is best for you and all concerned. Together we are stronger than alone. Oh, take a risk. Oh my god. Dare to have your life the way you decide. Are you willing to make sacrifices to have what you desire? What tools do I need to form my own destiny? Am I ready for my destiny? Taking a stand, positive omen, radical thinking, ability to change, pathway. So it's definitely something you're supposed to be doing. But I mean, look at that. Destiny at the bottom of the deck again. I'm not saying like run off and quit your job with nothing else to do, right? You know, obviously be sensible about it, but I think there's something that's been growing within you, and it's coming to the point where you're having to do it. Like, maybe not right now, but you know, maybe in a year, maybe in a few months, like, you have expand. More trees, Taurus. For some of you, this could well be something to do with like a job working outside, or something to do with protecting the environment. But again, I said the same thing in Aries. See how it's not quite clear? It's like a new pathway is opening up, but it's not quite clear. Like it's like you're being offered, it's like the very beginnings of some kind of new idea about what you want to do, but the whole pathway has not been revealed to you yet. So you may well start off in doing something, for example, like Reiki or Tarot, but later on you're going to find yourself doing much, much more. Or something else, like it's going to grow later, but it's certainly you're at a point now where you're expanding. Like your world is expanding. So the path may not, like I said, it may not be completely clear at the moment, but it will become more clear the more that you walk down the path. Because see that, like, the more that you walked down that little path of trees, like, the more you would see where you were going, right? It just looks like you can't see because you're not actually in the little tunnel yet, right? Okay, what else for Taurus, please? Journey. So for some of you, this might involve traveling somewhere. Like physically traveling, maybe you have to, oh my god, why are you not focusing? Thank you. There's another mountain as well, so it could be like, again, well, it's not a mountain, it's like a hill, but for some of you there could be something like, you might decide you're going to work outdoors, or you might get this inspiration when you're next to a hill or a mountain, or you're going to move somewhere close to a hill or a mountain, but there's a journey happening. I want to say for a lot of you, this not caring, like not giving a shit what other people think is new for you. You know, like there's this new path that's come in for you, and you're having to, because it could be your dad or your mum or someone like that, you know, or I don't know, it could be a friend or a partner that's like, I really don't think you should do that, I really don't think it's sensible. And you're kind of really having to be ballsy and walk away from people's opinions. Not walk away from the person, but, you know, really, like, there may be something here that you've realized, you're like, I'm actually going to have to stop listening to people in order to go the place that I know I'm supposed to go, because I know I'm supposed to do it. And I think you've come on a very long journey from someone who once, like, didn't, you know, for some of you anyway, I think you were raised quite traditionally maybe, or you maybe just always thought this kind of thing was like devil worshipping or whatever, and I think you've come on a long journey from that place. You have beauty. That's interesting that you have two cards with roses there, because that little garden has roses in the back. Some of you might actually be called to be a gardener or a landscape artist. I'm not sure what they're called now. I mean like a gardener, like a landscaper, landscape gardener. Like you might actually end up doing that, but there's something very beautiful, like you really give people like calm, you really are able to calm people down. It's almost like just being around them. Like people just being around you is actually very healing for them. And you may not even know that. Oh, Aries had that one too. You have rejuvenate. So there's going to be some kind of new idea that comes to you, and it's because I don't know if you're feeling a bit stuck at the moment, or you're feeling very frustrated, or you're feeling like you don't know which way to go. But once this idea comes to you, because it's either like an idea or it's clarity of mind, it's going to be different for different people, because some of you may already know what you want to do, but you're just going to have it clarified. Others of you, you don't know what you want to do yet. But when this mental clarity comes, it's going to be very refreshing, and it's going to bring about a new beginning for you. yeah, you have awakening. So your third eye is opening, like really, really a lot. For some of you, maybe for the first time. But you're also, I think maybe for some of you, there's something to do with your circumstances that are awakening you. I feel like you've kind of been pushed into a corner for some of you, maybe financially, or like in terms of your work, you're kind of being pushed into a corner. Like maybe your work is just too much, like you're not enjoying it. You know, maybe like for example, maybe some of you are being worked into the ground, right? And you're kind of at a point now where you're like, well, I really feel like I'd rather just work for myself. You know, I feel like I have this idea. It's something to do with like a psychic awakening, like a really, really strong one. And for those of you who are already psychically awake, it's like you're going further, you know. I'm just going to reshuffle those because I feel like I dropped them. I'm going to get one more. What else for Taurus, please? Thank you. You have achieve. Again, it's more countryside stuff, like more trees, more mountains. And you have healing. I'm actually going to take that one for there. So you're definitely a healer. You have some kind of knowledge, and I don't even think you know you have it. Like it's some kind of knowledge that just means you're a natural healer. For some of you, like again, it could be something to do with healing the environment. But it's time. You're going to achieve the abundance that you want, all right? But you have to put fear out of the way first. You know, there is a little bit of sacrifice involved here, but you're going to achieve, like there is abundance in this job, in whatever it is you're doing. And I feel like for most of you, it's self-employment in some way, or it's something where you get to like set your own hours or be autonomous or something. Okay, what else for Taurus? Let's get this one from this deck. Thank you. Generosity. Generosity is a quality of spirit. It is rejoicing in the good fortune of others, even when you have nothing to celebrate yourself. It is an attitude of mind, which means that you are happy to give without expecting in return. Drawing this card invites you to be generous-hearted and indicates that you are ready to aspire to this noble quality. So you have a healing gift, and it's come to the point where your life may not be exactly where you want it to be, but nonetheless it is time for you to enter into some kind of service, Taurus. And again, I'm not saying that you should run off and quit your job. You know, be sensible about this, but Spirit is saying, see, that's how it starts off, right? Because you may be in this sort of, you can't decide, right? Because you're like, I feel really drawn to this, I know I'd be really good at it, but on the other hand, you know, maybe I don't want to help people so much because like I haven't had a lot of help from people in return, or like maybe I need to focus on me at the moment and like making my money and blah blah blah. But they're saying it's actually a time for you to give, and actually that's when you're going to start receiving. That's how it works. Like when you start giving, you start receiving, because you get back what you send out, you know. Drawing this card invites you to be generous-hearted and indicates that you are ready to aspire to this noble quality. Angel wisdom suggests that you give of yourself freely, openly, and lovingly. The rewards for generosity are great, for all that you give from an open heart is returned to you multiplied. Affirmation, I am generous-hearted. So like just off the top of my head, they put in my head there, like if you're already a Reiki healer, like maybe you should start a Reiki channel on YouTube, you know, where you're giving out free Reiki. And you know, maybe at the start it's just going to be something that you do for free, like you can't have adverts on it, but then somehow it's going to end up making you money. You know, there's something here about, because maybe you have like a mum or a dad that are like, you need to make money, you need to focus on money, blah blah blah, like, and you're kind of thinking more, but I would rather do this like healing thing, but I'm worried about not having enough money or something. They're saying like, don't let fear of lack of money stop you from doing whatever this is, because this is what you came here to do. You're supposed to do it. And it might take, see, I like this quote I've got up here today, like, you know, it might take you some time, right? But it's like, when you first start off, it may seem like this gigantic thing that is really hard to do, but actually it's like a series of little choices that you make, right, that are going to lead to you making something really beautiful. You're definitely a natural healer, and there's some kind of inspiration that's going to come to you, and I think, like I keep saying, it's going to come when you're outside. So hopefully if you live in Scotland, you'll find like a break in between the rain for you to go outside. So anyway, Taurus, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, don't forget to like and subscribe for me. If you feel like doing that, I'd appreciate it very much. And many, many blessings, light worker. Love and light.